Is your work everywhere? I mean, the tasks, the things you have to plan, your documents, um, are they across text messages and verbal conversations? And it's really hard to Google Docs, and it's really hard to keep people accountable as well as to really manage your time, energy, and attention. This is a really common problem, and it happens at organizations, be it nonprofits, government organizations, private organizations, big and small, right? I've seen it everywhere, and we got to create a central command hub with the level of transparency necessary to see what you're working on, see what your leadership has prioritized, even if the leadership is you, and communicate effectively with everybody else what is happening to give them updates. So that is where work management platforms come in. I use Notion. I love it. I have moved leaps and bounds in terms of productivity personally. I use Notion to manage my business. I've used Notion to help people manage theirs, and it really creates a one-stop shop for creating your documents, pages that you want to share with people, forms you need people to fill out, managing all of your databases, meaning your CRM, meaning your invoices, meaning your folders for all of your processes and stuff like that. This platform can house all of it in something that you can access on any device with any operating system, including without the app on the web. So I'm going to encourage you to try Notion. It's free to try. It's an unlimited trial. I have my affiliate link in the description box. If you sign up through that link, I do get a commission for referring you. If you wanted to go directly through the website, great. We're going to get started. I started with a blank workspace just so that we can be on the same footing, so you can see what I see, or I can see what you're seeing, right? And you'll notice that when you're going to the workspace, the first thing you're going to see is a blank page, and you're going to see on the sidebar your search, home, all of the above. We're just going to work off of a blank page to get you started. We'll tell you about those other spaces later. If you have already started working on Notion and need to come up with a page now because you've already clicked away from the new page, you can go ahead and see it in private there, or click on the pencil right here to create a brand new page, right? And so the next step is going to be that we're going to take a step back and think about what we're trying to do here. So the first activity is a brain dump. Do this yourself or with your team, whatever makes sense for you, right? Notion is a platform that allows you to search everything on a page. So I really want to encourage you to just get it out of your head. Don't think about your naming conventions or folder organization. Don't think about organizing any of this stuff yet, right? You will be able to find everything here in less than a minute. I love it. So the first step is going to be to title this page. So I'm going to encourage you to title it Brain Dump, right? And then today. So we're going to hit the at button, shift 2, and then today. That is going to give the date, and which is a relative date. So today it's going to say today, tomorrow it's going to say yesterday, etc. until I think about 2 weeks, where then it would be, or a month, and then it would be the actual date. So it's really helpful for you to gauge recency. So at today, and then hit enter. And when I say go, what you're going to do is get all of the things out of your head. You're going to start typing, and then when you're moving to the next item, hit enter. Simple. So before we get started, let me just check my notes. We're trying to cover all the projects, all the to-dos, and why this is important. Personal anecdote real quick. So we all know, and there's tons of scientific reasons. I'll put an article in the description box for those who need one. But I found personally that once you get something out, you've decided to do it. So you've put it on a to-do list. You've gotten it out of your head. It's kind of manifested into reality. You are more likely to complete that task. And I did this with a friend of mine who was strapped for time for a very long time, and she had 3 kids, 2 jobs, and we just took 15 minutes, just go ahead and dump out all the things that were in her brain, all the things that were kind of haunting her for the past 2 months. And I circled back with her after the exercise like a month or so later, and she didn't end up sticking with the platform for whatever reason, but she got everything she said she was going to do done, which, again, she was avoiding all of these things for months. So this activity is going to be powerful just in terms of telling your subconscious where you want to focus, right? And I want to encourage a little bit of, I want to encourage you to do this with a digital platform. If not Notion, one where you can obviously type, but you also have the ability to search it easily, not flipping through pages with highlighters and tabs. You're going to be able to connect this to your calendar so you can, without having to duplicate efforts, put in things by date. You're also going to be able to set reminders for yourself and connect it to your email, right? So digital is going to be key here. Obviously, over the course of your day, absolutely take notes. They're really good for recall, but this is going to be our business second brain. So this is not an exercise for writing down. You don't need to memorize your to-do list. What we're going to do is choose a digital platform and start working off of some sort of word processor. And now that we are on the first section, don't hesitate. Improv tells you that the first thing that comes to your mind usually is great. Go with your instinct. You and your team. Ready? Go. 15 minutes. I'm gonna put a card here and give you some space. Pause it. Okay. So we have our to-dos, and the next step is going to be for us to organize them. So what I want you to do, if you're following along in Notion, is you're going to start creating the groups. So the next step is going to be, if you have things that are like, so email sequence, I have some stuff for my template store. I am going to click on the left side of the block. Each entry in this is a block. So there are a myriad of things you can use blocks for, including text. So this is its own kind of category. So I'm going to move that over here. These are kind of marketing items. So I'm going to just start sorting them just by clicking, dragging, and dropping. And you will pull till you have a column. If you're using OneNote, or if you're using a Asana, or just anything else, all you're doing now is moving things into their respective focus areas. So if you are After you've grouped things together on the page, you can just copy and paste them to your project note. But I'm gonna go ahead and use this on this one. So these are kind of marketing items. This is just and this is kind of a subtask of this. So what I'm going to do is this is a to do. So um, as a part of kind of choosing the templates that are going to stay. So I'm going to turn this into, and you're going to click on that same 6 dot menu that you've been using to drag and drop, and then click on to dos. We're going to turn it into a to do so that you can see it's kind of jutted in from here. And then this would be the master. And so you can kind of see yourself, the blue line, this one, it has become a part of that one. So this being the master, so I'm just going to use another, just two bracket, the open bracket, close bracket to create a to do, and then kind of drag it in. You see how the blue line hasn't fully, um, isn't fully taking up the entire space. This one is full, this one is half, and that makes it a sub item. So this is on the same level. Mm-hmm. And this has kind of become now my kind of client work, and kind of, well, these are more marketing activities, so I'm just going to move this onto, it's actually its own column. And then I'm going to give it a header. So instead of it just being its own standalone list, to make it really clear at a distance what this is I'm going to actually turn this block that I created just by hitting the plus, moving it up, and then turning it into a H1. And then this is going to be client work, right? Oops. Marketing. If you type the slash button and type in two, you can choose header from the drop down and create a header that way. So there's two ways to do it, either with the plus button on an empty block, or in an empty block, hit the slash and two. So we're just going to do templates. Okay. And you can select, just like you would in File Explorer, just drag and drop into the open space to select. The blue highlight is what you have selected, and you can turn everything into a to-do using this method. Whatever you've selected, you can change it all at once. This is kind of training. If something has bullet points and you're really just trying to make it so that you kind of give the additional context, you can, instead of turning it into the two, you can turn it into a bullet point. So it would be, these are all kind of like for, um, marketing. And then this is going to be a sub item here. We're going to change it to a bullet. Um, Stuff for my room. Office. Marketing. Office. You can select all and move everything at once. Boom. Okay, cool. So now I have my brain dump done, right? You can choose the days you're going to do it the same way you just did the today. So brain dump at today. You can, on the line at the end, hit the at button and you can choose the day that you want to do this thing. So if you want to do it tomorrow, you can literally type in tomorrow, or you can say Friday if you're seeing it as relative to today, right? So you don't even have to go ahead and choose the date. But if you're thinking, oh, you know what, I kind of want to go and move it later, you can just click on the Friday. That's all I did. And the calendar would pop up, you pick the day. If you want a reminder, you can click remind and then choose from the drop down like when relative to the date of the event that you want to be reminded. If you need a time on it, so say you say that somebody has an appointment or the town hall is tomorrow at noon, you can include the time and type it in. So tomorrow, and boom, and the time zone is going to be relative to your account. You can then, because you've chosen a time instead of all day, you can choose within minutes and hours of the event time. And then if you're thinking of assigning it to somebody, you can hit the at button. Right now, I'm the only person in this workspace, so you can assign things to that person. So remind Leslie. So remind today. And so Leslie needs to be reminded today. This is a reminder on the day. And I'm the only person, so uh, on the day of the event, this might take a second to show up. So tomorrow, one day before the event. And then your inbox will show up here by an email domain. So I wanted to do I think this is because it's only me, but you can say remind Tracy tomorrow and it'll be able to set a reminder for other people. And it might not be pretty, but this is the first step. So now you have your to-dos that can be checked off. I don't necessarily need to put a date on these myself, but you can and assigned it out. And then the beauty of Notion is that once we start getting into databases, you can just drag and drop these into the appropriate place. So don't worry about whether or not this is in the right format. We can absolutely just go with it in this kind of quick and dirty by using the move tool. So I will see you there. Let me just see if I have anything that I have not gone over. Yeah, the free version should more than allow you to complete this exercise. I like to just choose general categories in at this stage and level. So it doesn't have to be good. Just go ahead, get it out, generally organize it. The idea being is that looking over it again, reminding yourself, as well as choosing when you're going to do it. I'm going to find that I am going to not naturally go ahead and get these done. But when we go to the kind of daily reminders, what you need to prioritize and do first, second, and third. So in terms of energy and time management and getting the right things done, that's going to take a little bit more intentionality, and we're going to move to databases on the next one. So hopefully you got something out of this exercise. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Have a fabulous rest of your day.